it's Sharon here from Cotton Pod. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to tapestry crochet in the round, specifically working tapestry crochet in the round when working a tube-like structure. I'll be showing you how to follow a tapestry crochet colour chart, like this one here, how to introduce your second colour, how to change your colours neatly, how to hide and trap your yarn whilst you're working so that you don't have any floating yarn on the inside of your work, and how to change colour at the end of the row when your pattern requires you to begin the next row with the different colour that you've just finished with. Throughout this demonstration I'll be using UK terms, so I'll be using a UK treble crochet stitch, otherwise known as a double crochet stitch when using US terms. I'm following the Poco Drawstring Pouch Pattern, and here's my crochet chart, and I'm picking up this pattern on row 5. So here we have the first few rounds of the pouch. When following the chart, we start at the bottom right hand corner and we work from right to left. Each square or rectangle is telling us which colour we are going to crochet in. So you can see on this chart we're going to begin the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in the existing colour. The first stitch is represented with a chain 3. Now that counts as the first treble stitch. So that's 1, and then we're going to do the next 4 treble stitches. Now the 6th stitch is where we bring our new colour in, and what we need to do is bring our new colour in during the making of that last treble crochet stitch. So what we need to do is pull that stitch out so I can show you this more clearly. You complete the 5th stitch halfway through, yarn over, pull through. And before the final yarn over of the stitch, we're going to bring in our new colour. So I usually turn my work over and tie on my new colour as close as I can to the back of my work. This can always be adjusted at a later date when you come in to darn your ends in. So I'm now halfway through the treble stitch, and I'm going to finish the treble crochet stitch off with my new colour. So yarn over with the new colour and bring that through both those loops on the hook. You can see that the stitch has finished with the old colour, and we now have the new colour ready on the hook, ready to crochet our next stitch. Now we've only got 1 stitch in this colour, so we're going to yarn over, insert the hook, and while we do that we're going to trap our old colour underneath that stitch. So we yarn over, insert hook, lay the old colour over the top of the stitches so we can trap it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 2 off. Now we're going to bring our existing colour forwards and the new colour is going to come from behind, and we're going to finish off that stitch with the new colour, or colour A we'll call this, and we're going to call the red colour B. So now I'm ready to crochet the next 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. This will take me to the end of the stitch pattern. So this pattern has a 10 stitch repeat. So once we get to the end of these 10 stitches, we'll go back to the start of the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4 treble crochet stitches in colour A, trapping colour B along the top of our work. Now if you can try and get that yarn towards the back, that's even better. So we insert hook, trapping the yarn, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 2 off, yarn over, 2 off. Insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 2 off, yarn over, 2 off. So you can see that we are trapping yarn B inside the stitches by laying yarn B along the top of our work. So we're going to do one more stitch. Oops. And another. So we've now completed the first 10 stitches of the stitch repeat, or the pattern repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We now need to go back to the start of the chart and do another 5 stitches in colour A, all the while trapping colour B inside the stitches. So another 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On this 5th stitch, remember that we are going to change colour halfway through the stitch. So we do the first part of the treble crochet stitch, we lay our colour A towards the front, and we take our colour B from the back, yarn over and pull through. We're now going to create 1 stitch in colour A, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, off. Remember to change the colour back halfway through this stitch, bring colour A to the front, colour B from the back, yarn over, pull through, and then repeat the 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll now be able to see that we have completed 2 sets of pattern repeats, and the pattern suggests that we do this 6 times in total. So I'm going to speed up the video now and meet you back at the start, and then I'll demonstrate how we do the next part of the pattern. See you in a few moments. You can see that I've now come to the end of this row. I've repeated the 10 stitch pattern 6 times, and I'm ready to do the last 2 stitches. I'm going to put the first stitch in as usual. Then I'm going to show you how we can neatly bring yarn B up to the next round by firstly trapping it underneath the treble crochet stitch as usual, Then halfway through the stitch we're going to twist our yarn so that yarn B comes over the top of yarn A. Then we will finish the treble crochet stitch. Then we will slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. We've completed that round and we're now ready to start the next round, still using yarn A. So we will chain 3, but before doing so we will just add another little twist, bringing yarn B over yarn A again, just to trap it inside the chain 3 and bring it up to the level that we want it to be for this next row. We're going to chain 3, so that's 2 and 3, and then follow the chart again. We've done the first stitch, we need 3 more stitches in yarn shade A. So we're just going to repeat the process as before. And on that 4th stitch there, we're going to bring yarn A forward, bring yarn B up from the back, finish off the stitch with yarn B, place yarn A along the top, crochet over it, bring yarn B forward, yarn A up from the back. So always remembering to bring the yarn that you don't want to use anymore to the front and bring the new colour up from the back. This way you're going to get a nice finish on the inside and the outside of your work. Forwards and the new yarn from the back. So we next have 1, 2, 3 in yarn A, and then we're coming back to the start of the row and repeating the stitch pattern again 6 times in total. This would be a good little place to talk a little bit about your tension. You do see your floating yarn through your work a little bit. The tighter you do those stitches, the more that's going to get hidden. You do want to be careful though of not pulling your floating yarn too tight, because you don't want it to bunch all your stitches together too much. So there's a fine balance between just letting that yarn sit on the surface and not letting it poke out of the back as well if it was too loose. So you're just finding the right tension so as not to distort your work, but to just conceal that thread nicely. So you're beginning to see what tapestry crochet looks like from the front and from the back. I'm going to carry on for a few rounds and then I'm going to show you what happens when you reach a point in your work where you have to change colour at the beginning of the next row. So for example here at the end of row 9 we need to slip stitch with our new colour and begin the row with a new colour. Up until that point we're always finishing with the old colour, with the colour A. Meet you back shortly. I've reached a point in my pattern where the first stitch needs to be in colour A, but the second stitch needs to be in colour B. This means that during the chain 3 I need to change colour. So quite simply I'm going to do my 1, 2 chains, and then on the 3rd chain I'm going to bring my colour A forwards as usual and colour B from the back and finish the chain 3 off with the new shade. The 3rd chain finishes off in colour A, and now I'm ready to crochet the 2nd stitch in colour B. And this entire row switches every single stitch from A to B to B to A and so on all the way around. So I'm doing constant colour changes. Every now and again it's worth stopping and untangling your yarn, especially when you're doing frequent colour changes, because you can get in a right old tangle. So I'm going to finish off this round, alternating every stitch, and then I'm going to show you how I get from this row to the next row, because I need to, at the end of this row I need to change to colour B to start the round in colour B. So I'll crochet all the way around and I'll meet you back at the end of this round very shortly. I'm just coming up to the last 2 stitches in the colour chart for row 9. So I need to do colour A and then colour B, and then I'm retaining colour B ready for the start of row 10. So I'm finishing with colour A. I'm crocheting the colour B stitch now, and I need to bring up colour A in order to slip stitch to the top of the initial chain 3. But when I do this slip stitch, I'm looking to switch colours to colour B, so that I finish the stitch off using colour A, but I'm beginning the chain 3 with colour B. Remembering to switch back to colour A at the end of the chain 3. So let's just look at that again. So I've now reached the last 2 stitches of row 9. I need to do a stitch in colour A and a stitch in colour B. I then need to finish the round in colour A by slip stitching into the top of the chain 3 in colour A, and then I need to switch to colour B. So this is probably the most complicated part of this pattern. And this is how you would go about it. So you would crochet that last colour A in the round, bringing up colour B, and then you would crochet colour B, and you would finish colour B, you would finish this stitch with colour A, so that you can slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 in colour A. But during this slip stitch we want to switch to colour B, so that the loop on the hook, when we do the slip stitch, the loop on the hook becomes the top of that initial chain 3, and the yarn over that we did now becomes the loop on the hook, ready to chain 3 in colour B, and remembering to switch to colour A at the end of that chain. So it's a little bit tricky and there's a lot to think about there, but just rewind the video, look through it again, and it'll begin to make sense. So again, this row is alternating between the 2 colours, so it's another slightly tricky full-on row. So you can really begin to see now the effects of tapestry crochet and how that it should look neat on the inside and neat on the outside. Thank you for watching my demonstration on tapestry crochet. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video today, and then you won't miss out on future videos of mine. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.